So this is Jamie and Danny coming at you from the Harn Collective. We're gonna be doing a little video here to like help you guys. Oh God, that was so crazy counting me
That's
down.
all right. Keep going.
It's not TV. You
Yeah.
could. Oh, anyways. Okay, so we're doing this video just to kind of let people know where we're at. I mean, I think there's some people who, kind of maybe.
We've had some concerns shared regarding our current mental state and thought it would be nice to just post some videos for fun and to give us something to do here at the Harn and show you a little bit about Harn life. Um, we appreciate watching other videos. That's kind of where we got this idea at.
Yeah, I mean, and like a couple days ago, I started doing this days of Corona feeding the chickadees. It was kind of just a spontaneous little video that I ended up going out and showing people the yard and the snow holes and the squirrels, and then we tried to feed the chickadees. And day one wasn't really great because odds were stacked against us. You should watch the videos; they're really good. The one that I posted on St. Patrick's Day is really cool. It's got, and I'll put a little link to that in here in the doodly doo. So, but anyway, so yeah, so people have basically been telling me like, hey, I appreciate the videos you're doing with the chickadees. They're like kind of hopeful and they're fun and it lets me see you and like see the snow and I mean, who doesn't like watching a chickadee land in someone's hand to get a bird seed? That's kind of cool.
And it's not a whole bunch of CV stuff or what's happening here or there, and numbers or data or who said what said. You know,
Oh yeah, I do give like a little Corona
yeah, but
update.
it's bits and pieces. It's digestible. Today, like today is day 10 of our isolation. And part of the hope with doing this type of video thing is to give you a little bit of insight. You may be on day 1 or 2 or
Yeah.
18 or 4 or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's an interesting journey, and that's what we're hoping to get across to you and
It's
your,
like, how do you live with your shelter buddy?
yeah, your shelter buddy.
So yeah. So Danny's been really busy of late. I mean, with this whole coronavirus thing, we finally figured out today. We've been doing this since about Valentine's Day, I guess. Looking
Yeah,
at.
roughly. It's been several weeks of research. We've been reading quite a bit. I read the Lancet now. I look at medical journals and read abstracts on the most recent data coming in. We found a couple good resources for that kind of stuff, like Chris Martinson at Peak Prosperity really has some accurate data and a good
And he presents
breakdown
it.
on it. He extrapolates it out and explains it in English.
Yeah, and yeah, he's really good with just kind of putting things into terms that are understandable. And he also kind of goes around the world with the picture he brings you. So that we've been watching him since that sometime in February.
Yeah, he's been at this for like 50 days now.
Yeah, I think today was day
Yeah,
58 or
yeah.
57 or something. So there's a ton of videos out there. I think he's only missed like 3 days, so there's a lot of watching to catch up to do. But if you watch like every second or third video, he does repeat things a lot to just kind of bring people in. So anyways, but that's a lot of crap you don't need to know about. The really thing is we want you to know that we've been living kind of with these close quarters for a while, so we've only been maybe locked down officially now, day 10. We were also locked down for probably 4 or 5 days before we did our last store run. And in general, that's just how we live. So,
Yeah, we live in about 1,000 square foot space, and we've got a screen porch on the south side. If the sun's out, it's a good little room to go to and relax. Um, for me to get through this, especially now at day 10, I'm starting to treat it like I'm on house arrest. And during my life, I've spent periods of time with restrictions on my mobility. And I know from past experience, I can tell you that I know I can do at least 181 days. That's my current record. But the way to get to that point is you got to have a release date. So like right now, I'm sitting here and I'm looking over at the calendar, and it's March 19, and I'm going, all right.
when are we getting out of here again?
By April, it's probably going to be pretty deep, but by the beginning of May, they'll probably let us get out and get some air.
Yeah.
So, get some yard time and stretch my legs and everything, and then they may have to put me back in lockdown again. But Right now, my mental date is if I can hold on and last this out till May 1st, I'm going to have a lot more information to make an informed decision with. And it also gives me a lot of time to really get to know myself, as we all should. We should take advantage of this slowdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of partly why we actually wanted to do this video today is we're seeing some of the difficulties that are coming with this new world we live in. And so like yesterday morning, we got a call from a friend who wanted to come visit, and we had to say we're sorry. I mean, we don't even know if we are not carriers yet. We are on day 10 of quarantine since being out in public, and I mean, this thing's been in the United States for a couple of months now. We live along US 2, which runs all the way from Washington. You know, it's like, what are the odds that this thing didn't already come through here with some traveler who happened to be riding all the way across, or passing it along the way? So,
Well,
we're
we
feeling
try not to get bogged down in that too.
right. I mean, we're feeling good and we're healthy, and every day is like, hey, another day. But there's also evidence that this thing can last for a while, and which brings us to the point where people start to think that we're really hysterical. And I get that people can understand that this is super complex. It is something we've never before faced. It is something that we are going to have to just keep learning about, and
Absorb in stages.
right. I mean, every single one of us is in a different part of the process with this, whether it's like, the people down in Florida who are like, dude, it's just, it's cool. I'm still doing spring break. Or like people who are like, hey, I'm good. I'm taking precautions. I'm like, doing my vitamin C. I'm taking some zinc now. Zinc is a big thing. Like if you can do the zinc, that's really great. They've got some studies on that now. And then, some of us are kind of in this space of fear or depression about what the future holds, and some people are like, dude, yeah, okay, we've got this thing. Let's figure out how do we get through it. Where are we going?
It's a
And
new adventure.
yeah, looking at it like, hey, all right, cool. Here's my set of circumstances. Let's MacGyver our way out of this thing. So, but it is really a complex thing. And, the thing is, we've seen data that shows this thing stays potentially in your body for up to like 37 days. So it's like we may be contagious for another couple of, 27 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another month. And you start thinking about those kind of time frames, and
But
yeah,
at the
you
same
better know how to get along with your shelter partner.
and at the same time, we don't want to scare people with things like that.
Right.
Saying something inadvertently that someone hasn't thought of, they freak out sometimes. But to me, it's more like there's a fire burning, and I'm the sheepdog, and I can smell the fire. I can see it over in the distance. And it's my job to start barking and wake the sheep up and get them moving and move them to safety however best I can.
Right. And sometimes I feel like we don't do that great. But because this is a really scary thing, when you know what is really real about this, the facts about this are becoming clearly very horrific. And but if the facts alarm you, the problem is not with the facts. The problem is with where you are in this transition that we're making to this new reality. And the
And that itself is a Chris Martenson quote from Peak Prosperity.
right, if the facts
And
alarm you, the facts are not the problem.
he's been a very good resource so far and continues to be and guides me to other resources.
Right. And one of his recent videos was actually about how do we have these impossible conversations. And he talked to the guy who wrote
Exactly.
the book on that. And, I mean, he's doing some really great resource videos for people to walk their way through this crisis. And, whether you're on your own or whether you're with somebody else, there's so many cool things happening right now. I mean, gosh, I just got off um, the PRT, the pipeline resistance team for MN350. We had a big Zoom call, and usually I'm the one calling in, and everybody else is in the conference room. Well, with the new protocols for coronavirus, everyone called in on Zoom, and buy Zoom stock now. do it now. It's probably too late. But it's like we loved it. It was great because you could see everybody sitting in their own personal space. Everybody was comfortable. They had ability to get a drink or cook something to eat, or you know, we were all muted, except the people who were presenting, and so I could talk to Danny in the background, and we could, kind of still have a little bit of a life or a little conversation about what was going on in the meeting and how we were seeing things, because line 3 is kind of our life. But I mean, that's kind of where we are with doing this stuff. And there's a lot of, I mean, I know, like, my mom was really concerned about me recently, and she emailed like, I'm worried about you. And the thing I told her is, Mom, I am not depressed. I mean, I am depressed occasionally. Like, this is kind of a depressing thing that we're looking at. But I said, Mom, I am a very happy person in a very horrific crisis.
Yeah, we're trying all kinds of different things. There's a great little series of videos out on YouTube from After School,
SK.
SKOOL, and some really neat little videos with drawing and stuff, and a good storyline. Dave Chappelle did a wonderful one about just walking away from money and
Yeah.
standing your moral ground, and how our compass should point to good and bad, not better and worse.
I asked somebody today, if I wasn't using the F word, wouldn't that be scarier? But, people are like, you're so angry. And it's like, well, yeah, I am angry. I'm angry that people are trying to downplay this in any way, shape, or form, when I hear people from across the world saying there is literally no way to overreact, no way to over prepare, no way to be ready for this thing. You can do everything you can think of, and it is still not going to be enough. I mean, look at South
Our
Korea. They're a prime example of who's doing it great, and China, it maybe is doing it great, but yeah.
our house is literally on fire, and we haven't even noticed the smoke yet.
Mhm.
We're just starting to realize there might be something wrong here, and it will. It's going to be hard. It's going to. We saw images last year out of Australia and what they had to live through last year there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough spring and summer here,
Yeah. We've seen it in
and we've
California.
got to band together and do what we can to lift each other up and maintain community, to maintain sanity.
And really to maintain hope. I mean, as hard as this is, and as much as it feels like the world is crashing down around us, it's also a new opportunity to rebuild things in a way that works better for everybody. And that's the thing I keep thinking about, is as we transition into these new methodologies to try and help save as many of us as we can through this virus, this pandemic, it's really gonna, get us to this place where we're like, all right, we're doing this stuff, we're seeing these systems implemented, we're seeing stories around the world of people helping each other and good things happening. And I think that's what we need to keep looking at, is where are the good things happening, and where are we going to move forward to. But in order to get to where we're going, we have to really be honest about where we are.
So come take a walk with us.
Yep, join us at Harn Theory anytime. We're chatting on Discord. Just send us a little note and we'll send you a link to come in and have a visit. Coronavirus free.
See you soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing people have said about me, and I kind of